Hi guys, my name is Richard. Welcome to the Skyriver IT, your trusted technology advisor podcast. I have here joined with me the CEO of Skyriver IT, Rudy Michelin. He's going to give you, a brief overview of why we're doing these podcasts and what you can expect in the next episodes going forward. Rudy?
Hi, I'm Rudy Michelin, CEO of Skyriver IT, and I'm very excited to share some industry secrets with you.
All right, so let's kick things off with company culture. Something that defines how teams operate and how customers ultimately experience Skyriver IT. I want to ask Rudy, how do you describe the culture that you've built within the organization? What are some of those values? What do they look like?
Yeah, our culture is very unique to Skyriver. We call it the Skyriver way. I think when you're looking at service providers, the big differentiator, they all do the same thing. It's going to come down to your culture. And so what makes us different is our values and the people that live our values. So our values are truthfulness, and that means just start with telling the truth. You really can't have a relationship with anybody if you're not based in the truth. Otherwise, it's a house of cards.
Right.
The other value that makes a lot of sense for us, and there's 5 of them. So compassion. So that's just the golden rule. Get in the other person's shoes, understand, what they're feeling, what they're going through. It improves communication and obviously having empathy for the people you're working with, both in-house and our clients. The third value is professional patience, and that's industry specific. So that means that we take the time to get to the root cause of what's the main problem, and we fix it. Fix it right the first time instead of applying Band-Aids, because that's just a headache for everybody.
Right.
Collaboration, that's another word for teamwork, and that's very important. So when you're hiring Skyriver IT, you get a whole fractional team. That includes level 1, 2, 3 engineering, and a virtual chief information officer. So collaboration within that team and with the clients is very important. And finally, continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is our mindset. We value people that are like sponges. We're in a very fast-moving industry with a lot of technological change. And unless you really are passionate about working in this field, it's going to take a lot of effort to stay current because the technology changes by the moment.
Yeah, it's ever-changing. So I guess I want to ask next, how do you see that impacting both employee engagement and overall customer satisfaction?
Yeah, so making it clear to people what's expected is always going to help in terms of when people come on board and are trying to fit into this new company. What is the Skyriver IT? How does it all work? And so I think the engagement comes about from finding people with the right attitude. So we really focus on bringing in the right level of talent. We've worked with an industrial psychologist. We've developed some screening tools to bring people in, and there's some assessments we do on the front end. We look for people that are service-minded and that have worked in service fields like fast food or other client-facing opportunities as they've gone through their education. And when they come to join us, then this is something that's really critical. So we're looking for attention to detail and the technical knowledge, but at the same time, being able to communicate with your clients is very critical.
Couldn't agree more with that. And I think feedback is also equally important in that regard. How do you make sure that the feedback, whether it's from, your employees, more so importantly, your clients, how do you make sure that those influence the business decisions? How does that influence?
Sure. Because we're in a customer service business, we need to rely on the feedback we get with all the service tickets. So every single service ticket that we work on has a survey that's associated with it. Those surveys, when they come in, they're scrutinized by our whole team. We have all hands on deck on Friday morning meetings, and we really discuss all of the service feedback, the clients' comments. We spend a lot of time, the whole company gets together to look at these things, and we try to figure out how to get better every time. And our website also has a real-time feedback on our customer service. So Love seeing those numbers, usually, hovering around 97, 98%. And that's what keeps us, word of mouth with a lot of our clients and how we get a lot of referral business.
Definitely something definitely something to be proud of. But let's zoom out, let's talk about vision. What are some long-term goals you've set for Skyriver IT, right? How do you ensure that everyone from leadership to new hires, is aligned with that vision as well?
So our vision is pretty simple. We want to be the trusted technology advisor of choice for small and mid-sized businesses across the country. We're very focused on that vision, and we want to make sure that we reach our right audience and communicating that to our people when they come in the door, that this is, what you're going to be working on, you're going to be learning, and you're going to be serving a bunch of different clients in a bunch of different industries. And I always tell them it's like drinking out of a fire hose, because the level of information, the intensity in our space is very high. And so people are very engaged because I don't think they have time for anything else. That's the reality of it. It feels like sometimes being like firemen and, putting out fires. And that's the reactive nature of part of our business. But where we make a difference is we're also proactive. And we have another side of the house with a number of individuals dedicated to the proactive activities in our business. And that's what, at the end of the day, creates the right environment for our clients, creates redundancy, makes sure that the clients, have pretty much 100% uptime, make sure that the clients are experiencing top-notch service levels.
Okay, so then you would agree with, a well-communicated vision attracting top talent, customers, right?
We want the best and the brightest.
Okay. Is there any strategies that you guys have, worked on from planning to action that makes that vision come true?
Yeah, we believe that A players attract A players. Okay. So if we surround ourselves with A players, I think that, creates a certain perception of our company. The level of professionalism, it differentiates us from the competition.
Okay. A final segment, in this episode that I want to touch on is risk management. It's pretty important, right? Every business faces risks, whether it's operational, financial, or technical. How do you identify and prioritize risks across the organization of Skyriver IT?
Yeah, so we make a big practice of also focusing in on using the tools that we use for our clients in-house as well. So we're kind of like the first round guinea pigs for anything that we roll out. So we make sure that if something's not quite ready for prime time, we don't push any of that on our clients, right? But more than anything, figuring out that our clients are concerned with uptime, our clients are concerned with having their tools available and their people focused on, their core business as opposed to worrying about IT is really where we put most of our energy. So we have, most of our company focused in on making sure that that experience for the client is something that allows them to sleep well at night, knowing that they're protected, that we've focused in on where the risks are for their business. Some clients, they don't want to spend the money on redundancy. They don't need to have fiber optic internet and then also cable internet. In many cases, they'll say like, hey, we're fine if we can just go to Starbucks and connect to Wi-Fi there. So we work with people with all kinds of different budgets, and we try to find the right solutions that meet their budgets.
Okay. Well, I think that's, all we have for now in this first episode of the Skyriver IT, your trusted technology advisor. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our socials as well, skyriverit.com. Thanks, everyone.